अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल कुकिंग में सादिया। तो गाइस, जैसे कि आज आप ये देख रहे हैं जाइंट फेरस व्हील, हम डाउनटाउन शिकागो गए थे। तो मैंने थोड़े थोड़े क्लिप्स बनाए हैं। मैं कुछ पार्ट 1 करूँगी, कुछ पार्ट 2 में, ताकि छोटे छोटे क्लिप्स आपको भी देखने में मज़ा आए और आप इंजॉय करें। कुछ मैंने आवाज़ों के साथ रहने दिए, कुछ वैसे ही। तो ये काफ़ी बड़ा था, बहुत स्केरी था, बच्चे बहुत डर रहे थे और बल्कि रो भी रहे थे। तो आप इंजॉय कीजिएगा। और मुझे
हमने तो एक राउंड कर भी लिया। वाह,
Lake Michigan देखना ना? That's a Lake Michigan. You know that? You read about it? So what is that? That's a Lake Michigan, right?
What? There was an aircraft carrier. I need to go on.
That's a Lake Michigan.
The Chicago River would do something about it. So in the late 1800s, we made an ambitious plan to reverse the direction of the entire river. We dug a series of canals to the south and west that connect to the Des Plaines River, which connects the Illinois River to the Mississippi River, control the flow of water from the lake to the river. On average, Lake Michigan's about 4 feet higher than the Chicago River, so they have to control for that height difference, and also closely monitor those locks to make sure no invasive species get in or type of, mostly in the late spring to allow sailboats to get out to the lake, and we'll do it again in the fall so sailboats can get back to storage. We do it at scheduled times on Wednesday and Saturday mornings, so if you're ever hanging out downtown and you see a group of sailboats just kind of waiting around, probably waiting for one of these bridges, 2 ratings. If you ever get a chance to watch a bridge lift, I highly recommend it. And after this first bridge, the curtain will rise on one of our first great pictures. Finish up the tour at the same place where we started. The tour is about 75 minutes long. Building in the world designed by a woman-led architecture firm, Studio Gang, led by Chicagoland architect Jeannie Gang, designed the St. Regis. Did you know? A sway reduction. Now we calm down skyscrapers swaying in the breeze. The first one, if you look at the tallest out of those 3 towers, near the top, there's a gap. That's called a blow-through floor. The idea is wind can take a shortcut through that gap and take some of the pressure off the tallest part of the building. That blow-through floor was not the original design for the St. Regis. Right around the time they started construction, they did some more small-scale tests, realized they needed more help with the wind, so they just never built floors 83 and 84. Which is a bummer for the developers, because many of those other floors sold for millions of dollars as high-end apartments. Like one of the penthouse units, the top 2 floors that... But on the way there, I want to tell you a story about the Aon Center, because it has a bit of a troubled past. When it was completed in 1973, it was the tallest building in Chicago. For 1 year. Then they finished the Sears Tower. So that was a bummer. Also, they originally covered the outside of the building with rare Italian marble. Same type of marble Michelangelo had used to make the statue of David. Right, if you block the sun with your hand, you'll see that white clock tower, the Wrigley Building. When it was completed in 1924, that was the tallest building in Chicago. It's an architectural style called Spanish Revival. At that time, in the early 20s, American architects were still trying to figure out their own unique sense of style, especially for office buildings, so we're still copying European styles, specific their offices. As we get a little bit closer, you'll notice the bottom of the Wrigley Building is actually a darker shade of gray. And as you work your way up that clock tower, there's fewer and fewer tiles, which gives it that lovely color gradient, getting lighter as you go up. And those tiles also make the Wrigley Building the tallest building in Chicago. Straight ahead, the Trump International Hotel and Tower from 2009. Trump Tower, second tallest building in Chicago. See how it has 3 horizontal black strips going across it in places where the building gets narrower. Every time the building gets narrower, that's called a setback. And their heights are no coincidence. That lowest setback's the same height as the roof of the Wrigley Building. You're right. That's 2009, saying hello to 1924.
यहाँ पर तो मैंने
It's a
ऊपर
great
से
example
देखा
of
हुआ
a
है.
modern style called contextualism, as in context. Ways for buildings to flow.
बेटा हाई हो जाएगी गुड़िया तुम्हारी.
In this case, the height of each of those 3 setbacks corresponds to the height of a different older building nearby. Trump Tower was designed by another Chicago. Straight lines or sharp corners in nature. Therefore, a building should have none. And so you get this very round, natural design. Goldberg's goal was to create a city within a city. You could live in your apartment above, park your car in the garage below, dine in the restaurants below that. There was a bowling alley, ice skating rink, a laundromat. It used to be a movie theater, but they've now turned that into a music venue called the House of Blues. You could even park your boat in the marina underneath. And up there on the bridge, my aunt. How we doing? Additional valet to park there. They don't let just anyone back up to the ledge. I actually got to go to a New Year's Eve party in one of those towers. And on New Year's, there's barges in the river that shoot off fireworks. So I got to watch fireworks going off. On your left, that short concrete building with the gold 5.5 is 55 West Wagner, also from 1970. And each room has its own unique style. The room to our left right now is known as the River Theater.
It's a
You get
museum.
that sense of optimism from all the straight line columns on the way up. Just like we felt, we were on the way. And there's a machine feeling to it. A lot of repetitive patterns, like the arrows in the trim, the gold squares at regular intervals, feels like something off of an assembly line. Closer to the river, there's this row of statue heads. Those were added in 1953 by Joseph Kennedy, father of former President John F. Kennedy. Down the side here are sea stars. Kind of look like starfish. On Fulton House, 1898. I love these pointy residences ahead on your left. The River Cottages, 1988, were designed by Harry Weiss, same architect who turned the Fulton House into apartments. You can see his love of sail. 88, when these were built, the river was still industrial and stinky, especially the North Branch of the Chicago River, where we are right now. Not a lot of people wanted to live by the river. In the long term, though, Harry Weiss was right. A few years ago, one of those 4 units sold for $2.25 million. That stone building is actually the old Maine Post Office, 1932. At the time of its completion, this was the largest post office in the world. Why did Chicago need such a big post office? $900 million to turn this into corporate offices. And they turned the roof of this building into a 3-acre park. There are basketball courts up on that roof, walking trails, pickleball courts, even beekeepers, all on the roof of the old post office. Unfortunately, I don't think that park is open to the public, so if anyone here happens to work in that building, let's get in touch. I really want to go up there. This next stretch river, heading south, is story time. The story for that time we accused a cow of arson. We'll start with the Chicago flag. We have a city flag. Here it is. Let's talk about what the Chicago flag means. The 2 blue stripes on the Chicago flag represent the Chicago River and Lake Michigan. The 3 white sections represent the 3 sides of the city. The south side, the west side, and the north side. Of course, you won't hear about the east side of Chicago because on the east side you have